What up, everybody? Thank you for watching another episode of Dead in Sports. Well, you see the setup, but I'll get into what we're doing tonight in just a second. Want to make sure we're out here sounding crispy.
Mic check.
Crispy. So let us know. Also, give you guys some time to get into the room here. Let me see here. Let me pull up the stream. See if we hear. See if we hear. What up, Rhythmatic? Turn that volume down. Big Lou. Q in the building.
Q back?
Yeah, Q back, man. Q around. Yeah.
What has it been, like 2 years?
Nah, yeah, he's still he's still bad.
Shout out
Drink
to Q,
more water.
man.
Yep. So he'll be back around. Big way. So here, we sound good, man. My mic sounds straight. Spike's mic sounds straight.
What's going on, fellas?
Man. This heart thing. Still that shit. 100. Bunch of 100s. Hey, man, y'all make sure you guys hit the like button and share the stream as well. Make sure you do all that for us. Shelton pop up?
There you go.
Oh, there he is. Oh, shit. I can't hear Shelton. Hold on, Shelton. They say you sound like you outside by a vent. But I don't have you routed in here. So I have to fix that. Let me see. Maybe I can do it from here. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Setting. Audio. Nah, this MacBook. All right, give me a sec. I do want to test this thing out real quick. Oh, look at that shit. Oh, bruh. They still can't hear you, Shelton. Something wrong with your mic. It's not
can
on
y'all hear me?
though.
Ain't no
we
fan.
Can't hear you either, so I got to fix that. Hold on.
Shout out to everybody tapping in. Salutations, Spikes, pause.
I don't even know what a
picture, by the way.
I don't even know what a vent is.
Wow. They said they can hear Sheldon. We just can't hear. Said Sheldon got the fan on.
No, I ain't got no fan on.
We them boys starting early with the. Dak ain't got nothing to worry about. We them boys. Say something, Sheldon.
Mic check.
Yeah,
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, Braves up 2-0 already. Let's go.
What they in Colorado still?
Yeah.
Do they got Acuna protected tonight, or they gonna let somebody run on the field?
I know, man. That's
Get
crazy. That is crazy.
He didn't know what to do either. They lucky he probably a nice dude. He ain't decked both of them. Dude, they was drunk.
Yeah. That was rough. And it seemed like security. I was like, this top flight security. Them dudes didn't do nothing.
Right. Took forever for him. He played for the Braves, Acuna. Yep. In Colorado. Look like they were just fans though. They do try to get a selfie.
You got an echo with me? Well, that's Sheldon.
Sheldon, say something, Sheldon.
Yep. Yo.
Keep talking. He
Yo,
said the
yo,
Brewers
yo,
the
yo.
best team in. I thought the Braves were the best team in baseball. Drink more water.
Drink more water. You know the Braves are the best team in baseball. Ain't no
Yeah, why are you
Brewers.
trying to get that Brewer stuff off? The
Ain't
Braves
nothing.
are easily the best team in baseball right now.
They're leading in every statistical category on the board.
And Acuna is number one for MVP. Him and Mookie Betts.
Oh, he's saying because they're 9-1 in the last 10 games. Guess who they hadn't played in that 10 games? They'll drink more water.
The Braves. Q trying to get off the Geno Smith and Trey Lance some parallel is crazy. Because Geno Smith almost won the Heisman in college. Q. Trey Lance didn't even play college football. He played.
Oh, Q. What's
Q
happening,
Q back, baby.
That no Q clone, is it?
I don't know. I don't think that's a bot. I think that's him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took Geno a second to get it together.
But I'm just saying Geno had more experience coming into the pros. We always got to go back to Trey Lance. First of all, ain't played football in what, 5 years?
I think Trey Lance has played 20 games in 4 years.
Yeah,
no, played 21 games.
21 games in the last 5 years.
And Patrick Mahomes played 20 last year.
His last full season was 5 years ago, and that was 8 games.
Yeah. Like I said, Patty played 20 games Patty played as many games last year as the dude played in the last 4 or 5 years.
5 years. Now Rob Costa, Ken on his way. He's just fixing the audio.
All right. Yep, forgot that one piece of the puzzle. It's been a minute since we did this setup. So I think we all good now. All right. Let's see. All right, so I got the remote so I can control Shelton's volume. So when he starts talking crazy, I can just hit mute.
Mute. Yes.
Yeah,
we need to rewrite this. Yeah, I still feel the same way about Trey, Spike's pause. I'm sure we'll get into it though.
Yeah.
Sure
So
we'll get into it.
broke a goddamn nail. Ain't that some shit? All right, let's get into the show. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me on the show, we have Spike.
What up? I couldn't sit this one out.
Yeah, and we have Shelton.
What's
joining
happening?
us,
What's happening?
Getting his Matt's headroom on for shout out to all the OGs. What up, bro? Nick is out this week, so we already knew he was going to be out.
Yeah.
And FIFO acting like a gremlin.
FIFO didn't have a
Oh.
boat.
He don't want to get wet. So he don't want to get wet.
Keep him away from water.
Yeah, you're afraid of that hurricane out there in Georgia.
He couldn't mess his hair up.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. So he was afraid of the thunderstorm, so he wasn't gonna he not here, y'all. Drink more water. The AC is bad. That is why we're actually here, because if the AC wasn't working, we would not be doing this show tonight. So, but yeah, thankfully we got everything taken care of. So we are back in action. Thank everybody that sent in super chats and stuff, because that was a hot show, man. It was like we was in church.
Oh man,
yeah.
I had the fans out.
I had the fans out. It got up to like 86, 87 peak.
That's one of them. You can't wait to hear the church doors are open. Thank God. It's almost over.
Yeah, and it stayed that way. I kept checking the thermostat from the crib. It stayed that way to 86 till about 1, 12 and 1.
Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, they got it fit. So we good to go.
Shout out to them, man.
Yep. So tonight we're doing our top 5 NFL coaches.
Yes.
And we definitely will talk about what you guys have already been discussing, and that is the Trey Lance trade. And let's see if we got anything else cooked up here. Yeah, those are some of the big hot ticket items, and it was ticket items, and it was a cut day.
Yep.
Cut day.
Rosters cut down, some surprises. The Patriots let go of Zappy.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna start there, man. So you already said there were some surprises. Was that one of the ones that you saw?
That one, and the Cardinals blatantly tanking and not even starting Colt McCoy, because Kyler's going to be out the first 3 weeks, and you thought Colt McCoy was going to be the starter coming into the season. They cut him. They don't even want to risk winning those games. The Colts standing on not trading Jonathan Taylor, saying they're going to put him on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
You said Zappy though.
Yep.
So they only have, and I saw this in the chat, one quarterback.
Matt Jones. Zappy was struggling in Bill O'Brien's offense all preseason. He
was the man last year.
He was supposed to be able to take that job this year if Matt Jones struggled, they were saying. But once camp got to going in a couple preseason games, people see he looked terrible. He wasn't grasping O'Brien's offense. So
because O'Brien just got there, right?
Just got there. They just got an offensive coordinator. So maybe, but it seems like even if he was the backup, you would have worked with him throughout the season to try and help him figure it out. Because I don't even know who they like you said, they might just have one quarterback on their roster.
Yeah, that's what let me get through somebody. Long live Cameron Samuels. Let me pop that up here. Ooh, right over
they're gonna find a new backup in the coming days.
That dude Malik Cunningham looked all right for them. They cut him too.
They cut Malik Cunningham too, which he was actually the new Lamar Jackson out of Louisville. I like Malik Cunningham. That's what he
crazy.
He was, bro. He can't. I'm talking about because
he was electric.
No, I'm talking about because he played quarterback at Louisville. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots need some excitement on their team. They should have kept him. Josh Dobbs is going to be the Cardinals quarterback. Well, actually, the Cardinals coach said they're not going to name a quarterback because it gives them a competitive advantage. So it's between Josh Dobbs and Clayton Tune.
It's going to be Josh Dobbs. They brought him in. That trade, bringing him in was I think to start him. I don't think they brought him in to let him sit behind Clayton Tune. So I think he'll play. And Josh Dobbs is a smart guy, man. He's really, really smart. And I think he can hold down the fort pretty good. I would rather him over Colt McCoy, to be honest with you, if he can grasp the offense. That's the whole question.
He came in Tennessee last year in 2 days, started a game for them.
And played well in that game.
Yeah, he was all right.
Real quick, we're frozen, but can you guys still hear us?
It's moving on Shelton.
Yeah, Shelton is still moving.
Oh yeah, we all see that.
But yeah, we're locked up. But if you guys can still hear us, I might be able to fix it without starting everything over. Okay.
Said we're doing the mannequin challenge.
I don't know.
Beyonce freeze thing.
Yeah.
Everybody on mute.
All right. let me see what I can do here. Jalen told me we were frozen, so yeah. All right, y'all have at it, and let me see what I can do.
All right.
Chicago Bears cut PJ Walker. And the surprise part of that was they gave him $2 million guaranteed to back up Justin Fields. But he was outplayed by an undrafted rookie.
PJ
Tyson.
Walker?
Yeah, PJ Walker. Remember he started a couple games in Carolina. He came from was it the XFL?
Oh, yeah, I remember the black dude.
Yeah, so they gave him $2 million guaranteed, so he made some money, if nothing else. But
And who cut him? You said
Chicago. He was supposed to come in and be Justin Fields' backup.
Okay, I got you.
But he was outplayed in the preseason. Also, Melvin Gordon got cut by the Baltimore Ravens. His deal was worth up to $3.1 million, but it was really only worth the league minimum and no guaranteed money. But J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill are roster locks, and he couldn't beat out any of those guys. So really, if nothing else, he'll be on the practice squad.
I've heard from the Raiders, the kid O'Connell, they said he might challenge Garoppolo for the job.
Wow.
Mid-season or before, if Garoppolo can't play up to at least some type of serviceable standard. They said O'Connell's supposed to be really good.
He did. He had a good preseason.
Yeah, Jalen Smith got cut. Cowboys need him.
You said Jalen Smith?
Yeah, he got cut.
You surprised by that?
I'm not, but he might be better than our third linebacker that's starting for us right now, which ain't saying much. I would take him instead of who we got because our rookie got hurt towards ACL, so we thin at linebacker.
So Malik Cunningham is out of there.
Yeah, they got rid of Malik. Too black for Boston.
I like Malik, man.
I did too.
I like Malik. Let me see. It was somebody else got it was another trade that happened today too. See if I can find that here.
Okay.
Find a trade. Oh,
Malik Davis was supposed to be our number 2 running back. He got cut. They kept Deuce Vaughn and Rico Dowdle.
I told you Rico Dowdle was going to be the backup.
Going into the season, they thought it was going to be Davis, though. So that's a surprise. Jimmy Graham made the Saints roster.
Oh, he did? Man, he just got arrested a couple days ago.
I was surprised they didn't cut him. Yeah, he made it.
Oh, it's your team, Spike.
What's that?
Cowboys land Igbenogene from the Dolphins for Kelvin Joseph. The Cowboys and Miami Dolphins have swapped cornerbacks who could be in need of fresh starts. So the Dolphins sent a 2020 first round pick Noah Igbenogene to the Cowboys for a 2021 second round pick Kevin Joseph.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't. Kevin Joseph was average at best. But I don't know about the kid from Miami. I don't know if he's good or not. I ain't familiar with his game. Chuck, is he good?
I don't know. I don't know.
You heard of
that? Not at
all. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Joseph was fast, but it's interesting because it seems like over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of upticks in trades.
Yeah, it's more NFL trades than there's been in a long time.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Cardinals are going to do, and I think that's part of the move that the Cowboys are trying to pull off when they bring in Lance is knowing that the trade market is picking up, looking forward to next year, thinking that they be able to move a Kyler Murray or a Dak Prescott as an asset versus just having to pay them all that money that they're going to be on the hook for. So, yeah, I think that the trade market is going to get even hotter.
Right.
Were there any other surprising cuts that you saw, Shelton?
No, I think we got all the cuts, all the surprising cuts in with the ones we talked about.
All right, man. Let's talk about this trade thing.
All right.
It was big news.
It was
big news last
breaking
week.
News.
I think one of the best tweets I saw was mentioned to us. I'm going to pull it up. It said Spike spent a whole season and a half slandering
I did.
Trey Lance only for him to be on your
End
team.
up on my team.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Thoughts, Spike?
Now that I've had time to process it, of course, when it originally came through, I thought it was a prank. I ain't even gonna lie. I no lie thought that was a prank. I just had a discussion in the group chat that I have about Trey Lance being a bust. I'm talking 2 days before this happened. Went back and forth. I mean, we were going all day. This dude was a 49ers fan, swearing that Trey Lance hadn't got a chance, swearing that all he needed was a chance. He wasn't a bust. And I was swearing that he was. So my position hadn't changed 2 days before even learning about the trade. But when I seen it, what I thought was, why would they do that? We need help at linebacker. If you're gonna give up a 4th round pick and we're trying to win this year, maybe we could have got somebody serviceable at linebacker. The Cardinals just gave up that guy that they drafted not too long ago for a 6th round pick. I would have took him in Dallas over Trey Lance. But then as I heard more talking heads, people in the media, people behind the scene, Adam Schefter or whatever it may be, talk, the play was, all right, Jerry Jones is going to try to use him as leverage. Because, of course, last time when Dak had contract negotiations, they didn't go smoothly. So if they don't go smoothly this time, they want to be able to say, okay, well, we got an option in Trey Lance. I don't know or don't think that that's a good option as a fan, but from the sense of what Jerry is doing to try to create leverage and make sure that he ain't got to pay Dak $60 if he don't win a Super Bowl, I don't mind that. I don't mind him putting Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy on notice saying there are plans if you guys don't complete the mission. We're not just going to keep doing this over and over and hoping that you guys can complete the mission one year. So I do think that's what Jerry was saying, and especially him reiterating that, no, I didn't run it by neither one of them. Like, I didn't run it by Dak. I didn't run it by Mike McCarthy.
He just did it.
I just did this. And this lets you know this season, if you guys don't meet expectations, we might be going a different route next season. Now, that doesn't mean that I think Trey Lance is good, but it does mean that I think that Jerry made that move to have leverage in the offseason if things don't go the way he wants them to. So I can't be mad at that as a fan.
Shelton?
A lot of people are criticizing the move. A lot of people are saying that the 49ers gave up too quick. I'm hearing a lot of talk of a lot of different things. I feel like it's a good move for both sides. I feel like it's a good move for everybody. He needed a fresh start. He's still young and developing. I think he has a lot of talent. There was a reason he was drafted that high. He has a lot of talent that's untapped potential that could be there. He still could be a bust, but I think that he has enough talent that I would have explored it, and it's worth a 4th round grade and a 4th round trade. I would have done that. I would have made that move the same way. If nothing else, what your hopes would be, best case scenario for a Dallas Cowboys fan, is that Dak plays well enough to get you out of the first round of the playoffs, and he's a great backup.
Got out of the first round last year, thank you, sir. We made it out of the first
round. I know. Second round. Yeah. But you hope that he's a good enough backup in case Dak goes down for a couple games, which, you know, in this league.
Best case scenario for a Cowboys fan is Trey Lance never touches the field. That's the best. That's the best case scenario, is that we can manipulate the media next year to say he's doing great in camp and trade him for a 4th or 3rd, maybe, if we could trick somebody that really needs a quarterback. That's the best case scenario.
Well, Spike, that's why you want him to see the field for a couple games and perhaps do good. You want him to play well enough to where you can move on from him.
Bro, if we get to a point in this season where Trey Lance is our quarterback, it's over. I've given up on that point in the season. Like, we ain't going to play out. If Trey Lance touches the field at any point in time while he had a Dallas Cowboy helmet on, it's over. It's over for that season, that game. Like, none of that. That ain't no best case scenario. Is him never touching the field. That's the best case scenario. Cooper Rush is the backup. Dak is the starter. All Trey Lance should do is practice squad stuff.
Cooper going. Cooper
going, right? Huh?
Cooper going, right?
Nah, he's backup. Trey Lance is not there to be a backup.
No,
Cooper Rush is the backup quarterback.
Cooper got cut.
No, sir. Trey Lance will never touch the field.
Let me see, because they told Cooper Rush, they basically told him he was lame
I'm
duck.
positive. Cooper Rush is there. Trey
Oh,
Lance, like I said, best case scenario, he's on the practice squad all year, and I don't know where they go with him from there. I don't know how they create value for him other than using it in negotiations against Dak and threatening Dak, and maybe Dak see him in practice all year and like, well, yeah, maybe he can take my job. Maybe they do believe in him. That's the only way I can see him being of any value to the Cowboys. Never
Right.
on the field though.
But I think that, like I said, I think that San Francisco was a tough landing spot because of the team and where they were in the process. That team was pretty much ready at that moment and needed a veteran signal caller to kind of lead that group to where they needed to be. If he had went to another squad that he could perhaps learn on and develop in a system where it wasn't so much pressure, he probably would have came out a lot better than he did. So I feel for him on that. But it's a nice spot in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? He can learn from that. And like I said, if something happens, I thought the whole point was to get rid of Cooper Rush.
No, sir. The whole point, again, is next year going into negotiations. If Dak can't get us over the hump in the playoffs or Mike McCarthy doesn't do a great job, it can be like either one of y'all or both of y'all are gone. And maybe Trey Lance is good enough that we've seen it throughout the season at practices. Maybe he's good enough for us to bring in a new coach going into the offseason next year, and maybe that new coach can make him something. Like the only time that he would be on the field to even be considered to be a quarterback for us would be next year going into training camp.
I'm sorry. I was getting confused with Will Greer. That's what I was thinking.
And then Will Greer, that's why they let him play Friday or Saturday, because they wanted to give him a fair shot at auditioning for other teams. So they let him go out and play the full 4 quarters because Trey Lance is going to be in that third quarterback spot.
Gotcha. My bad.
No,
you good. Spike, man, Spike, you got like a goddamn beat reporter, bro. But what I like the move. I like the move for Trey. I think he needed a fresh start. You guys were talking before we actually officially kicked off the show, and I think, I don't know if you guys were saying that. I may be confusing what you guys were saying with what Kyle said. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Kyle. But he said that Trey has only played, 8 quarters of football?
Yep.
Prior to this season or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
21 games over the last 5 years.
Yeah. And one of those games was a completely rained out.
Yeah.
Crazy
right.
game.
So the talent, I suppose, is there. Hence why they make the move. It's just the reps are not there. And he just needs to go to a situation where he's going to be able to play. Here's the thing. Shelton, how do you feel about Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold is what we thought he was. And a lot of times they're trying to give him more credit than necessary, this backup job. Best case for San Francisco is he never touches the field. But he's closer to being a backup to Brock Purdy than Trey Lance was. It was more about Trey Lance's inexperience than it was about Sam Darnold's great play. He's not going to be out. He ain't going to be out there.
So you're not concerned about Trey Lance and what you said makes total sense. But, I mean, if Trey Lance got any type of ability, any type of skill, any type of knowledge of the game, any type of potential, you would think he should be able to beat out Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
right?
we them boys in the chat said it exactly right. You're right. He didn't really beat him out. It's just he's a more solid backup. They had to move on from Trey because that would have been tension all year. Him and Brock Purdy, who should be starting? First time Brock Purdy struggles or goes through any type of turmoil, he's not going to be that guy. That's who the competition was between. And
who?
Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. That's who the competition was. It wasn't that Sam Darnold came in and just beat him out. Sam Darnold is a solid backup for them, and that's what they needed more so than Trey Lance. Trey Lance, either he going to be the starter or he ain't nothing in San Francisco anyway.
I'm almost of the belief that Sam Darnold is just like what y'all talking about with Trey Lance and Geno Smith. Maybe Geno Smith has done it. Y'all saying Trey Lance may do it. Q said that in the chats after he go have his 3rd or 4th team. I think Sam Darnold might be at that space. All they've been talking about is how well he's picked up Mike Shanahan offense, how well he's been doing with Mike Shanahan's offense. I could see a world where, I mean, Brock Purdy's only played 8 games, and yeah, that was a cool 8-game stretch. But if he struggles, and all we hear is, man, Sam Darnold's been good here, Sam Darnold's been good here, and the 49ers got such a good team, and they got a quarterback that they feel like has a better grip on the offense than Purdy, it might be a point in the season where you see Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Hey, I want to answer this members chat real quick. I'll let y'all get back to it. He said, draft coming up. He has a number 1 pick. Who should he take? Fantasy football.
McCaffrey.
Justin Jefferson.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. McCaffrey may be out the first week, bro.
Okay,
Justin Jefferson is your pick.
Right. You're right.
Man, go ahead and get whatchamacallit.
Who you take?
Go ahead and get Mahomes and be done with it, bro.
Really? On the first round pick?
No,
First
you can't.
round pick.
Don't take the quarterback first pick.
Because you can get in.
I do because I'm really good at the game. So I got experience. I can.
This dude must be in our league that you coming up. You trying to sabotage it. You trying to sabotage it.
So I don't need a really good quarterback to win, but Mahomes is a can't miss, but Christian McCaffrey, I don't know about that. Anyway, so back to what y'all was saying. Shout out to Jordan for being a member.
Appreciate it, Jordan. Yeah, I mean, I see in a world, especially what we've been hearing about Sam Darnold in this offense. He's only 26. He ain't really had a fair shake anywhere. I could see the same thing Geno Smith happening with Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy struggles. We give Sam a shot. Sam started doing good. 49ers in the playoffs with Sam Darnold.
Hey, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe spike. You think Trey Lance is it? Sam Darnold is not it, bro. He's never been it. Them live bullets come on. He gonna let you down.
It's hard for me to believe that you would say Sam Darnold's never been it, but you giving Trey Lance a shot. How is that possible? I've seen Sam Darnold be good and bad. I ain't seen Trey Lance do shit.
You've seen this much of Sam Darnold, but you've seen a lot of Sam Darnold. You've seen this much good and this much bad. You've seen nothing from Trey. So we ain't been able to, take his pulse yet. Like we talk about, what hurts him more than anything is inexperience, and we don't know how hard he works. And that's what I was gonna say too. People talk about San Francisco cutting him like they're wrong or something. We don't know what he did in practice. We don't know what he did in the classroom. We don't know what happened in that team facility. We don't know what the teammates thought about him. We don't really know much of anything other than the fact that the guy hadn't touched the field. He may not be that great of a worker. He may not be none of that stuff. So he might not deserve it. But at the same time, I think I would take a flyer on him. I would take a 4th round shot to see what he can do.
I would. I would not.
I saw that he said that he wanted this and this honestly is kind of wild, right? Because he said that he asked Kyle to trade him so he can go to another situation where he can compete for the backup job, the number 2 job. Right. And I'm like, bro, how quickly have you humbled from all of the promise that you had? I mean,
2
you weren't here, bro.
Picks.
Not only that, FIFO said he had the top 5 arm in the league. Trey Lance was FIFO's guy. You cannot tell FIFO Trey Lance wasn't the next becoming a Patrick Mahomes. But I all that said, I still do like the move, mainly because we haven't seen him. We haven't seen any experience. I know he's, according to you, not a professional quarterback. But I think for Dallas to take a chance on the potential of Kyle Shanahan's scouting ability at that time for a 4th round pick or whatever.
4, yep.
Yes.
Hey, come on, man. How many 4th rounders going to make a team?
And they said that we said that in the Cowboys draft room that they had a 2nd round grade on, which is that's what Jerry Jones sent over the weekend. We rated him 2nd round coming out, so giving up a 4th seemed like it made sense to us. But a point that you bring up that I haven't heard anyone answer, and what I'm most intrigued about is he wanted to go somewhere and at least compete for a backup job. He's definitely not going to do that in Dallas. When is he going to get the reps for people to finally be like that he's good? Because I say, best case scenario with us, it's going to be a reporter that tells someone, oh, man, he's been doing a great job at practice. He's not going to be on the field.
Let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on Cooper Rush?
I would be I'm not scared at all if Dak gets hurt.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it may be. I mean, we might take a notch down, but I mean, I feel like Cooper Rush is a capable backup. I wouldn't want him to start my
Yeah.
season. I
He
would
beat the
rather
Bengals,
have
didn't he?
that. If that got hurt, I ain't mad that I feel like Cooper Rush can win a game.
Hey, he almost stole that job
Yeah.
last year.
Damn
Yeah,
sure did.
he beat the Bengals, didn't he?
I don't know if we won the game.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
can't- I mean, we one score. He started against the Eagles. One score
Yeah,
game.
Yeah, he beat the Bengals.
My thing is, what I'm thinking about is that Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, and he obviously thinks he can beat out Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush had a moment. He had a Jeremy Lin moment. But, he's probably more or less a guy that's going to be out the league after the season. So if he does what he needs to do in practice, he goes in and he takes advantage of this new opportunity that he has. If I'm Trey Lance, is Trey Lance got a black daddy or a white daddy?
That's a really good question. That is
Like which part is it? Because this next part really matters. Is why I asked this question.
How much dog in like
Because-
Deion? You finna go Deion Sanders? It's his mom.
Now what I'm saying is that if I'm Trey Lance's daddy right now, I'm saying to Trey, you need to get your shit together. You need to get in this you need to start studying the playbook. You need to get your head in the damn game. And you need to prepare yourself to be the starting quarterback. Because if you're good enough with just enough potential, they're going to get Dak Prescott the hell up out of there and win his contract up. That's what I'm saying to Trey right now.
His dad named Carlton Lance, if that answers your question.
Okay.
And he looked like Brother Muzan from The Wire. His daddy looked like Brother Muzan from The Wire, man. That's crazy. Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, he should definitely. And I think, oh shit, water. He should definitely beat out Cooper.
Yeah, he should be way more confident in Dallas than he is in San Francisco, than he was in San Francisco. I agree with that. He should, even if Dallas is saying Mike McCarthy is saying all the right things, and Cooper Rush is going to be the backup, and if Jerry acting like this is a ploy for next year, he should feel like going in here and being here for 18 weeks by the end of the season, they're going to at least consider me a backup. So I agree with you there.
All right. Picks. Top 5 coaches. We're going to get into that and jump into any other news as well and hit some of these super chats.
What'd you think about, before you get to that?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
What'd you think about that fool that said world champs, the NBA?
I did not listen to the quote, but I saw people jumping on him.
He said that
I needed to hear it, but I kind of read what he was saying about basketball players, why they call them world champs.
Right.
And they ain't the world champs of anything or something like that.
Yeah. Because they don't compete against the world, he claimed. He said, what we do in track and field, you see all of these flags and the different worlds are represented here. And we go against the best in the world, and the NBA is just a league that's in America.
Noah's American?
Yeah.
Okay.
He American track and field.
Like he FBA? No, I shouldn't. I'm just playing y'all.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Because when you hear him talk and look at him, it ain't really easy to tell.
He might not be foundational.
Yeah, he might not be foundational. You're right about that, but it seemed like more he was trying to be funny, and it just came off more ignorant than funny. But yeah, it was dumb.
Okay. Here's what I would say in response to that, and I get what he's trying to say, but he has to also understand that these NBA players have competed in the Olympics.
Yeah, they're the best in the world.
Right. They've won gold medals.
Right.
So you sound ignorant as hell because they have competed against the best of the best.
They playing against the best in the world. And to take it a step further, if I took the Nuggets and you gave me any basketball team in the world, I'm guaranteeing that the Nuggets would beat them. I'm guaranteeing that.
Yeah. Right. So I don't know about that. So yeah, I think he's off base by that. But everybody jumping on his head, bro.
Yeah. I would have just told him stay in your lane, bro. No pun intended. stay in your lane.
Oh my God!
You wrote
Shelton.
that down.
How long?
He wrote that
how long
down.
you- it take
Mute
you to
him.
write
Mute,
that
what
one,
a
bro?
mute button at? Stay in your lane. That was nasty, Shelton. That was nasty. That was a Mike Greenberg line.
Oh man. Okay. But anyway, all right. But anyway, yeah, let's do these top 5 coaches. So we gotta, we first of all, before I get into this, I am a little salty. Everybody ain't here. We're only just missing one person.
Yeah.
But I know Nick was out, but
Right.
it would have been nice if he was here too. Because we brought on Jalen. Jalen's helping produce the show tonight. So what you're seeing right now is the byproduct of his work. So you can already see the improvements and the enhancements that he's making towards the show. And I also want to shout out Allie as well, who really kind of, when he came on and he assisted and produced the show from afar, he really helped take that in just as a whole, just idea-wise and certain things to another level. He's responsible for the new design of the show, but he also helped, showcase the need for somebody that could help
do this stuff,
do this sort of stuff. So shout out to him. He's going to be with us for the NFL season.
Shout out to Doc, man. We appreciate it. And I couldn't miss it, man. It's one of my favorite times of the week. I do a lot of other podcasts, but this is genuinely one of my favorites. And I always appreciate you guys bringing me on as part of the team. So,
hey, man, you definitely added to the show, bro, for real. So, but yeah, so we're gonna be doing things different, trying to enhance the show and everything like that. So, part of what you're about to see now with these top 5 coaches is part of his work, is his work. So,
shout out to Doc.
Yep. So let's get into it. I guess we will start with moi. The top 5 coaches that I have Pete Carroll is my number 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got Pete Carroll number 5. Sean McDermott, number 4. Kyle Shanahan, 3rd. This one's for Nick.
I got one for Nick.
I got Mike Tomlin is 2nd. And I don't give a damn about playoff appearances. I don't give a damn about Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that. I don't give a damn about any of that shit, Nick. Because I understand, and I don't even fault you for it, because, it's a division rival. His hatred for the Steelers is pure. So it's understandable. I don't even get mad.
He kind of looked like Mike Tomlin, too, so he biased in that sense. So.
Yeah, so I don't even get mad. But anyway, and of course, Andy Reid, bro. 2 Super Bowls in the last couple of years. So, yeah. See, here go Dragon Knight. See, what has Mike Tomlin done in the last 10 years?
Here we go. I mean,
he
what
made
about
the playoffs 2 years ago?
What about no losing seasons?
No losing seasons. That's huge for me.
What about that? You talking about what has any coach done in the last 10 years besides what Andy Reid and Bill Belichick? But I don't like to say. I'll give you my list.
All right. So hold on a second. Let him get it queued up. But yeah. But I get it. So anyway, Spike, you up?
All right. For me, number 5, I got Sean Payton. I think that Sean Payton is going to turn around the Broncos. He already called out your man that's going to the Jets for having arguably the worst coaching job in a single year ever. So I think that Sean Payton is going to turn the Broncos around. You talk about a team that's going to be competitive in that division. I'm giving it to him, Ken. Next for me, Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan has done a hell of a job, 49ers, over the last couple of years, especially not having a quarterback, a serviceable quarterback. Damn near since Cap was there. But shout out to Kyle Shanahan, the job he did. I still think that Bill Belichick deserves to be in the top 3. I think that personnel, I don't know, he does make personnel decisions, but this isn't the GM list, it's a coach list. I think with what he has on the field, he does a good job, but they could have better players on the field, but that ain't really on him in this list. Number 2 for me is Andy Reid. 2 for me is Andy Reid. I don't think it's arguable. He's blessed to have the best quarterback in the game, once in a generation talent in Mahomes, but he did bring that out of him. He knew when to bring him in, seen it in the draft where most people didn't see that. Andy Reid, only reason really that I'm picking Tomlin is 1, It's because he's black and to piss Nick off. But yeah, I got Tomlin at 1. I would have put Reed 1, just in any other list. But yeah, give me Tomlin 1. If I were picking a coach for the Cowboys and I had my pick of any coach in the league, I would go with Mike Tomlin. I would be most proud of that person being my coach.
Damn, so number 1. Okay.
Facts.
Wow.
Huh?
I just said wow.
Oh, I thought you said
you
wow.
had Sean Payton in there.
Yes, sir. Watch what the Broncos do this year.
I know Sean Payton is kind of wild, bro. And I see. I'm gonna get to the chat in a second. But because we need to. I'm not understanding them at all. But yeah, Nick just sent something in the chat. Hold on, I'll see. Shelton, I don't think we have one for you. I think he only did it for people
Probably
that's
didn't
here.
send his list.
He did.
Okay.
No, I should this.
Let me. I don't know. Let me see.
Sheldon, did you send a list?
Yeah, I got my list. I sent him my list.
Oh, okay.
But I got.
Well, you're not here, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got rewarded for people.
That's fine.
You got to be here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and somebody asked. That's Doc. Doc did the graphics and the artwork for us, so that's him. For those of you who were asking, I guess they must have missed my whole.
Yeah, they missed the whole
monologue,
spiel
bro.
there. The whole, we appreciate Doc.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yes, sir.
But Shelton, do you have anything as crazy as Sean Payton at number 5?
I do, man. I really do.
Oh,
You'd be surprised by mine. But my number 5 is
Doug
Peterson. And I say that because I just like what he did with Trevor Lawrence, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to take a major leap this year. Don't be surprised. Watch them Jaguars.
Jaguars going to be good. They got probably one of the best receiving corps in the league.
Right. They're gonna make a leap. And I think Doug Peterson is going to bring the best out of that dude.
Yeah.
So number 4, I got Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll deserves to be in the top 5 for what he did with Geno. To keep that, everybody felt like that was going to be a giveaway season other than you, Spike. But Pete Carroll proved that them guys still had some fight, and you got to give him credit for that. My number 3 is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin deserves to be in the top 5 because he's a consistent winner. Consistency speaks volumes for me. No matter who's been back there. I mean, he's had to deal with Rudolph at quarterback. He's had everybody back there playing quarterback. Anybody could have been a quarterback. And he's still been consistently winning games. My number 2 is Nick Sirianni. He was in the Super Bowl last year and, led that team.
At number 2?
Yes, Super Bowl. And number 1 was Andy Reid. He's a Super Bowl champ. You can't do any more than that.
No Kyle Shanahan.
No Kyle Shanahan. He did a good job, especially with Brock Purdy. But I still think, like I said, going into this season, I think Doug Peterson's gonna take that leap. I think that team is gonna prove a lot of people. They're gonna come out and they're gonna be what most people are expecting the Jets to be. That's what I think.
Is that what this divisional round of the playoffs, winning the division? Like, what would you say? I know we'll get into picks in another episode, but if you had to put something on it now, and you saying Doug Peterson, top 5 coach, how far do that take the Jaguars?
They need to be in the AFC Championship game. I think that they can make it that far. I really do think that team, if they can keep Travis Etienne healthy and he plays to the standard that I think he can, that team's going to be hard to deal with on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disturbed, Spike. I'm a little disturbed, and I feel like a lot of this stuff is because of Colin Cowherd. I think he started it. I think we're about to hear a lot of it from Nick. Mike Tomlin bashing. I see people calling him mediocre in the chat, and stuff like that. And when I think about like Tomlin, and I think about some other guys that may make their top 5,
right?
How many coaches besides Belichick and Andy Reid over the last few years have won multiple Super Bowls, right? So and I'm sure, please, I'm welcome because it's a legit question.
Right.
Because I can't really remember it all. But when you have guys like Sean Payton's a respectable pick. I question it because he wasn't in the league last year.
Yeah.
That's why I look at you crazy. But when people herald Sean Payton, what the fuck has he done?
Or Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, he's won one.
He won one, but then he ain't
damn near the same. He ain't done
yeah.
shit. So when people sit here and say Tomlin is mediocre, or they start jumping on and start looking at other coaches that they put in there, how about we also compare him to other fucking coaches?
Right.
You know, because you can't, if you're gonna tear him down, let's look at some other resumes while we at it. Let's look at Nick Sirianni making some lists. You know, as high as 2.
Mike McCarthy.
He lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I
Pete
agree.
Carroll played coached 2 Super Bowls, lost the Super. What the fuck has he been doing?
Where he been back since, other than the good season last year?
So come on, bro. Like I think we have to sometimes, like,
the context is never right. I 1,000,000% agree with you with the Mike Tomlin conversation. The context isn't right because people always try to say, "Oh well, Andy Reid's done this, Bill Belichick's done this." Well, those are the only 2 that have. Like, he's seen more success than 80% of the coaches in the league.
And Andy just really did it.
Just
he had a nice run with McNair, but
all of a sudden, because it's Tomlin and you have a win, you're talking about a coach whose job has never been under any question. Now, some would argue that Nick would tell you that there were rumblings, but realistically, there was never any question on Mike Tomlin not being a coach of the Steelers, and it speaks to the consistency that he's had. Like, other than Antonio Brown, you're talking about someone who always has control of the locker room. When you see him at the podium, it's never, oh my God, what is he talking about? Like, if you put coach in the dictionary, you looking at the picture like it's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, and you know, my thing is like, you know, I'm seeing these artificial boundaries being put up, like, oh, what has he done in the last 5 years or 10 years or do this, that, and the other, you know, and it's like when you judge coaches, like, what do you judge them by? Winning a Super Bowl is fucking hard. That's why Bill Belichick probably really should have been on my list. But you know, without Brady, he's in a rebuilding mode. And you know, but I think I really messed up not having him on my list because I really admire the work that Bill Belichick has done, and you can see his ability to coach. But you also seen Belichick struggle without Brady, and you still see Tomlin in a rebuild, still finding ways to win games. But it hasn't been pretty.
Even now,
it's been ugly.
It's been ugly. And you talking about with a struggling Ben Roethlisberger, a rookie Ben Roethlisberger when he wasn't that good. Of course, he had him when he was a superstar. But even now, I got Kenny Pickett. Who knows how good Kenny Pickett is? He may be good. Q was talking about him in the chat. He's going to surprise some people. I think that he's good as well. But we don't know if he's good. However, the expectation for the Steelers, like, they're not in rebuild mode. And that's because of Mike Tomlin. Like, no one is expecting the Steelers to only win 4 or 5 games this year. And that's every year for the last however many years that Mike Tomlin has been there. And even when you did expect them to be in rebuild mode, 8 wins, 9 wins. Every year. Like, you got to give him some points for that.
Yeah, you do. And like you said, even when those games were ugly wins and that team was a piss poor season for him is 9-8. That's a terrible Steelers team.
And even I can go 9-8 with Antonio Brown doing Facebook Lives in the locker room. I can do it with Le'Veon Bell being the best back in the league and not coming to play for a year. I can do it with Ben Roethlisberger raping chicks in the offseason. All of that. And not one losing season, not a 4-12, not a guys who had a lot of distractions. Every year, he putting teams out there that can win football games.
And you had Mason Rudolph at quarterback at times. You had Mitchell Trubisky was the quarterback to start the season, and you still ended up with a winning record. You can't argue that.
They had the best player arguably in football when Le'Veon Bell was in his contract dispute. Le'Veon Bell was running through teams. Like, we hadn't seen anything like that for them 2 years that he was doing that. They started that season that he held out with John Connor. John Connor, and didn't miss. Not a beat was missed.
And same thing with Belichick. Belichick went to the playoffs in 2021 2 as well. Brady was gone by then, right?
Brady was gone, yeah.
So he still managed to win. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty, but 10-7, you still got it
Still got
done.
in
So
the
it
playoffs.
speaks to their coaching ability.
Yep.
And you say, okay, now these guys just need a guy to start winning games. You look at, like Zach Taylor, he wasn't doing shit until he got Burrow, and now he's winning games and probably elevate his coaching status. I will give McVay credit in this sense, like he got a lot of work done off Gurley.
Yeah.
and Goff, but went to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, but he was definitely winning games. Fell off hard,
Yeah.
And shit, they got Goff up out of there.
We're talking about another season that the Rams are about to go into. No one's expecting them to win 4 games, but 2 years ago, they allegedly had the best coach in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
come on.
So I don't know. I think just prisoners of the moment, but I just don't like I don't know. I don't like the narratives that's starting to circulate around Mike Tomlin and
they're trying to act like it's an affirmative action hire, like he's just normal, like he's mediocre but keeps the job because he's black.
Well, I mean, I hope that's not going out there, but it might be. Here's the thing, like if Colin Cowherd started to criticize Tomlin like over the last couple of years when Ben got old and he was barely over 500. Let's just toss out the never had a losing season stuff, whatever.
Okay,
but he was just barely over 500. Barely winning double-digit games. The teams don't look good or whatever. I would get it. But we're talking about the media was criticizing this man when this man was winning 12, 13 something games. And it felt very racist to me, to be just flat out. So if those conversations happen now, I understand. But my defense of Tomlin started around then because I saw what was happening. I saw the framing that was being done. And I didn't see it happen with a lot of other people that were out there, a lot of other coaches that were out there that were basically doing the same thing. So
worse.
Yeah. So now that they're in a rebuild, they're not going to be winning games. He's going to barely keep this streak alive. The conversation is going to get louder and they're
the
going to get
hardest
worse.
division in football.
Right, right. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson, you have
Deshaun Watson, and Joe
Watson
Burrow.
now, Burrow, stuff like that. It's like, even on this program, I was the only one defending Marvin Lewis, bro. Like, I was defending Marvin Lewis.
Winning every year.
Man, I was like, when Stephen A was going against him, and people will tell you, I was defending Marvin Lewis, I would have the same conversation. I'm like, the man's winning games. Like, the Bengals weren't shit before he got there. And then when he left, they weren't shit. So, it's just I think that when I see these conversations and I'm telling everybody, we can have the conversation. You can use these framing points and all this other stuff, but you best believe, hey, I'm gonna empty the clip on all them other motherfuckers you guys. That's great. So understand that that's gonna happen. Shelton.
Yes, sir.
Jalen was kind enough to make a graphic for your coaches, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that, Jalen.
Real quick, that boy Doc Cold, boy.
Jalen,
so there you go, man. Doug Peterson.
Sir.
That's
Nick Sirianni at 2 is crazy.
That is insane.
That is
crazy. It is, man. He was number 2 in the league last year. I can't get no more insane than that.
I mean, we've had that happen before, right?
Yes.
What's that?
Ron Rivera. I mean, I guess his status got elevated. Okay,
it did. They let him. Well, I guess he been okay at Washington.
Yeah, I guess when he went to the Super Bowl with Cam, I think he got.
They gave him some free passes. He getting some free years at Washington right now.
Man, Shelton 5 maybe, bro. Second
is crazy.
Second.
So,
like I said,
you expect him to be a Super Bowl winning coach by the end of the year?
Yes, I think so. I think so. He's right back in the hunt. You don't think he's in the hunt?
I'm not sure. I am not sure, but he's what I have the most question about. Teams having a year to adjust to him and Jalen Hurts, I would want to see where they take it. And that small rule adjustment, I still think is going to play a part in their offense. where you can't hand the ball back like they used to, which was y'all bread and butter, and they got to be beside them now.
Yeah,
I think that's what you can't pull it when they in front of you.
The only thing that bothered me is we saw no work in the preseason. I mean, I was keeping up with the practices and stuff like that, but it'd have been nice to get some live game action.
Oh my God! Speaking of no work in the preseason, well, I was so upset that they had Dak calling the plays.
I saw
calling the plays. This man had a headset on. He had the plays. See, bro, you're not good enough for that. I'm gonna go on and let you know right now. You're not good enough to be standing on the sideline calling. He needed reps, just like what you were saying. Well, that made me so mad.
Don't let that make you mad, because the only reason I say
they're getting him ready for his next job as offensive coordinator for some team in 2 years. That's what they're doing.
That gives them kind of an idea of what his mind is like, what he's thinking about, what he's seeing, what plays he like.
I get it, but like you just said, I want to see a couple reps, man. Like, you threw 15 picks last year, bro. Like, get some reps in, man. I don't need you calling plays over here.
Yeah, I like the live action. You know, if we can see Patrick Mahomes on the field in the preseason, we need to see my boy Jalen Hurts on the field. We need to see all those guys on the field in the preseason. If Patrick Mahomes plays in the preseason, everybody need to play in the preseason.
I agree.
That's just part of it, man. At
least a drive. Get used to the, like, you know what I'm saying?
Marty asked about Mike Vrabel. Is he an honorable mention?
Yeah, he probably would be six on my list.
Yeah, I'll I mean, I don't know if my issues with Tennessee was him or Tannehill, and I believe it was Tannehill. So which is why I was like, I don't give a damn. So because he was able to do what he did with Tannehill, I definitely think he deserves an honorable mention. Definitely did a really good.
They had to fire their GM, the Titans, right? They had to, because that missed with Malik Willis last year, and then you've given a good coach like Vrabel to work with is Tannehill, and he's made it in spite of him running the ball like no one else can in the league today. Like, Vrabel is a good coach. You're right. That's a good pull.
Yeah, I'll give him props.
Yeah. And galvanizing your guys and getting them to believe in you and running through a wall for you is big. And that's something that he's a great motivational coach, and that's important too. You know, some guys is X's and O's, some of them is leadership. And I think that his leadership and his ability to get those guys to fight for him means a lot. So that's why he's on my list. Same as Mike Tomlin. They're those kind of coaches.
On the complete opposite end of that, this year I think Saleh for the Jets and Campbell for the Lions. I think that rah-rah shit that they do, I don't think that works.
Correct.
I think either one of them. I think both of them gonna take big hits this year.
Spike, we wanted the same. I'm feeling it. I'm with you too.
All that bullshit that they do. I had to stop watching Hard Knocks because of Robert Saleh, bro. Like,
I'm with you too.
I don't believe nothing that he says.
I'm with you too. Because we laughed at Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell didn't have a place in the league. You know what I'm saying? Everybody laughed at him talking about nipping at heels and all the stuff he was talking. That crazy talk he was talking. So I'm with you. I'm the same way. The same thing with Robert Saleh. It's the same thing. These guys are better. They would be better strength and conditioning coaches.
Strength and conditioning coach, special teams coach.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's what they need to be.
What about, because I don't think he was on any of our lists. We don't know what everybody else has. Nick Revifos. John Harbaugh.
You know what I was thinking this season as to how difficult that division is? If I were the Ravens, I wouldn't be opposed to looking for another coach if they don't do well this year. Harbaugh, it might be one of those things where the message ain't getting through no more. Not to say that Harbaugh is a bad coach or anything like that. I do look forward to seeing how their offense looks since they made a change from Greg Roman. But also, if I were in the front office of the Ravens and we struggled this year with Lamar Jackson and a new offense, I got to start looking for another coach. I think it's about time for that.
Yep, I'm with you. It's wearing thin. There's no excuses this year. You got your receivers in place. You need to keep Lamar healthy. You know, the injuries, hopefully for them, the injury season is over with. Your running backs are there. You got everybody. You got everything that you need now to at least be that competitive in that division. You should win that division, in my opinion. And we're going to see what they do going forward.
All right, so I'm gonna read super chats. We're gonna get out of here. Let me see what Nick sent to our group chat. Jimmy G's thoughts on Trey Lance being traded. He said, weird situation, been a lot of weird situations over there in San Francisco. Just leave it at that. You mean like him watching porno? Or going out with
Going out with the porno.
Going out with a porno.
Who asked
Yeah.
Jimmy G about it though? Bro? He need to worry about his starting job, not Trey Lance.
Right. Hey, I want to know what Trey Lance's teammates in San Fran was saying. Like, I really would like to see what some of those guys had to say about this and get their thoughts on him and his tenure there. That would be interesting for me.
I don't think you're going to get it, Shelton, but I'm with you. The reason why I don't know if you're going to get it is because I don't know if it exists. I don't know if he really had much of a relationship with those guys for them to comment on them. Because have we heard anything from anybody?
No.
You would
Not
think
at all.
that if somebody like that gets traded, somebody would say something.
Right.
But not a peep. So I don't know if he really even had a relationship with any of those guys over there.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't know. We will find out. All right, well, let's get into some of these super chats and we're gonna call it a show. Let's see. We got since we were just talking about coaches, Long Live Kevin Samuel said that Bill Belichick needs to be fired. Man, bro, y'all something else, bro.
Fired, yeah.
Who else said that Bill Belichick needed to be fired on this show? Somebody on the show said it. I can't remember who.
Crazy.
I don't know.
I don't remember that.
I don't know, but dang,
Somebody
man,
hard on Belichick.
fired?
On this show. Is it Nick?
Nah,
because I think Nick and I were both kind of praising what Belichick was able to do without Brady.
No, I can't remember who it is. Somebody don't like Belichick.
Yeah, I don't know, but
it was egregious last year, him not having an offensive coordinator. We spoke about that, but I don't know if fired is the word.
Yeah, maybe it was Shelton that said that.
Rob, Spike, Rob said it was you.
No. Or argue with him last Spike. I did not say that, Rob Costas. Fired. I said that he made a bad decision not having an offensive coordinator and wasn't doing good by Matt Jones. I didn't say fired. I got him third on my list, Rob Costa.
Okay. We them boys. Shanahan is an elite play caller, but not a great coach. Interesting.
That ain't true.
You don't think that's true?
I don't think that's true. He's a great play caller and coach. Like, I think to hold that team together throughout with Jimmy G back there and then last year with Brock Purdy, like that speaks to his coaching. Same thing we speaking towards with Tomlin and Belichick. It goes a long way besides X's and O's for you to have a third string, fourth string quarterback in the playoff game and still kind of keep it together. So,
nah, man, I'm with you. Like, this man winning games with anybody back there.
Yeah.
Now he's not winning the big game. You know, he hasn't won the Super Bowl. And at times you see that you kind of need a guy like that. It's very rare that you win with what's the guy that was quarterbacking the Ravens?
Trent Dilfer.
And there was somebody else that won that we were like, that was pretty much it. Bucks. Brad Johnson
mm-hmm.
or Eli Manning. You know, it's not often you get a chance to win Super Bowls with below average quarterbacks like that. But
yeah.
So sometimes you need a guy that can get it done. But yeah, so I we'll see. Brock Purdy, bro. Glock Purdy. This the year, man. This the year. So we'll see what he does. Drink more water. With the way the NFL is treating the running back, do you think we will see a decline in Hall of Fame running backs in the future? 2 and 3 back systems are becoming more popular and the workhorse running back being phased out.
Absolutely. Like even the best running backs of this generation, Derrick Henry, like none of those guys are going to the Hall of Fame.
You don't think Derrick Henry gets in?
I don't think Derrick Henry gets in. Unless he played well. How many total years?
I think Derrick Henry get in.
How many more years he'll need to perform at a high level?
Two more at a high level. And then who else gets in though? Like you got Frank Gore. That's who knocking on the door now. He got the most yards of any running back that's not in the Hall of Fame.
They probably not gonna let Frank
Frank
in.
Gore.
To be honest with you,
Frank got no, he's not gonna get in. I'm just saying that's the person that has the most amount of yards that people probably won't even catch. Not even mentioning Emmett at the top. Frank Gore is at like 12,000. There's no one close to him, probably other than Derrick Henry.
yeah.
If McCaffrey win a couple
Huh.
Super Bowls, maybe. Like it's gonna have to be dynamic, other than like accumulated rushing yards. and
Yeah, I
stats.
definitely agree with you on McCaffrey. I think him basically missing 2 seasons,
Uh-huh.
being hurt, really, really probably gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
Because he, white folks love
They
him,
love
bro.
him. They'll put him
So
in. Yeah.
he just needed to play 4 years as good as that. Terrell Davis got in off of a couple
Yeah.
of great seasons.
5
Yes.
years.
Those-
2,000 yard rushing season though.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
Super Bowls, those Super Bowls.
They gave his injuries, some credit.
You're right, Shelton. The Super Bowl wins though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got 2 back to back.
Yeah,
And a 2,000 yard.
that was huge.
Hey, you know why they let him in? They let him in because he got their white guy that Super Bowls, John Elway.
John Elway, that's Ken. That's exactly what I was thinking. John Elway needed one because he was gonna be the next Dan Marino sitting on the side.
Yep.
Great.
Mike Shanahan came around.
Yeah. Black safety.
Yeah,
he saved it.
reverse the roles, man.
Hey,
Yeah, because TD was nothing. TD came out of nowhere and saved him.
Yep, sure did. They're running that zone scheme, bro.
Yeah.
He was lighting them up. Mike C. Oh, speaking of running backs, before we get to this one, Jonathan Taylor. Of course, didn't get traded. You guys kind of briefly mentioned that. So he's out for 4 games. Jags, Texans, Ravens, and the Rams. Next opportunity to be dealt will be before the NFL's deadline, which is October 31st. And if not, then they can use a franchise tag on him or try to trade him in the offseason. Do you guys think he's going to play this year?
He's going to play, but it won't be for them. Miami made an offer that was rejected. I think they'll work something out to where he'll be in Miami. Because they still are talking at this time.
Yeah, they said that they saw how Christian McCaffrey looks in San Francisco, and Miami coach runs a similar offense to Shanahan. And they said that Taylor, a back like Taylor in the offense, he wanted to see what they would do. Yeah, most likely I would agree with Sheldon, Miami. I don't think that he plays for the Colts again.
Dang. All right, it's a bad boy. Let's see.
16,000 yards.
Mike Seagap, how many wins the Commanders getting this season?
What you guys fight?
Between 7 and 9.
I'm with you. We're right on the same page. I was going to say 7 to 8. I think that they got some talent.
Strong.
Yeah, defense is strong, and they got some talent on the offensive side of the ball too. If McLaurin can stay healthy, they got a couple good running backs. They got some talent.
Gibson. I don't know if Sam Howell is good, but they acting like he's good enough to start. So I want to see. It's going to depend on Sam Howell.
He's serviceable. Put it that way. He's not going to lose you them games that those skilled players and their defense is going to win you. So in saying that, that's good enough to get you 7 wins.
And they won 7 games last year, I think. Right? That was with even worse setup.
Shout out to Michael Thomas Riddick, who sent in a super chat with no questions, so appreciate it. I think it's just a little quick donation. Speaking of Frank Gore, shout out to God Trill for this quick fact. Frank Gore is third.
I wanted him to get
rusher with 16,000 yards.
Yes,
it's crazy, right?
It's longevity,
and no one is close to him that plays now that you would think are better players. So if he not gonna get in, who gonna get in?
Yeah, it was longevity with him, and I was hoping he stayed and tried to catch Emmett. I really want somebody to catch Emmett so bad.
It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna never happen.
And it was close. I was hoping he did the LeBron and stayed long enough for his son to make the league, but I don't know if Frank Gore Jr. gonna make it. But
who is it? Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders second, right?
Yes, I think. Yeah, Barry Sanders is second. Where's Adrian Peterson?
I'm gonna look it up.
Hopefully nowhere with a belt. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to do that. AP, you my guy. Godly Warrior 0. Bill needs to be fired only if he wants to, because be head coach, GM, Him as the head coach is fine. Bill as GM is destroying Bill
agree with
as
that.
the head coach.
I agree with that. He not putting good players on the field. He's
Walter
still good
Payton
enough
is
from
too.
a schematic standpoint. But
Mhm.
he not good from a personnel standpoint.
Yeah. Walter
Okay.
Payton's too. And but it depends on who
Walter
he's
Payton
working
got
with.
16,000. Frank Gore got 16,000. Barry Sanders got 15. And AP is fifth at 14,000.
You think that and Barry Sanders should definitely have the rushing title. He would have had it if he hadn't retired in his peak. But back to the Bill Belichick thing. He does need somebody in there to help on the GM side to make some of these decisions, because some of them make you scratch your head that Bill makes with some of the decisions he's making. But I guess he's earned that right because of his success in the league. So can't fault him.
It worked. It was able to work because you had a guy like Brady who was able to, overcome some of those guys' lack of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where kind of their partnership was a little bit unique in the sense that, he could overcome that. But you don't have Brady anymore and you're starting over from scratch. So you really need, you're also going to need talent to help Mac Jones, or whoever else you get in there. So, yeah. So you might need to hand that over, bro. So I'm kind of with you, Godly. And let's see. So these two, we're gonna combine these two together. Green Bean said the new Disputed show might be good, and Kev is right along with him. Kev said that he got to the show late, so might have already mentioned. But have y'all seen the new Undisputed Crew? I'm digging it so far. And yeah, it's a hot ass fucking mess.
I was thinking I was gonna be the only person that sound like a hater sitting up here. So.
Nah,
no,
bro.
you're not.
It's a flat out damn mess, and I think that is why people are entertained by it, because it's just a bunch of tomfoolery, Tom niggery. It's just all kind of shit.
It's like WWE-ish now,
Bruh. It's
much
like
anime. Like, yeah, I don't see Skip sticking around with this for a year or nothing like that.
He's contracts. Like, I don't know what these contracts.
I don't know if they contracts gonna be longer than enough for them to stick around. I don't see Skip sticking with this concept.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna want it more toned down because
it's happy today at all. I mean, yesterday at all.
It what?
I said Skip ain't look happy the other day at all.
No.
He couldn't get a word in edgewise, and that's crazy.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is it very much took the format that Stephen A had for First Take, and with these rotating guys in and out, and I thought that was interesting. But if you are Skip, you almost have no choice but to just
submit,
go all the way out, and just get the most ignorant of people you can. Yeah. I mean, Michael is just going to be Michael all the time. Like, it's no act. This is just who he is.
Facts.
So he probably take him a line, bro. He take him a line, go up in there, bro, and go to where Richard Sherman is. He's from Compton. He's one of those smart Negroes from Compton. Yep. So and Keyshawn, we already know what personality he was. He wrote a whole goddamn book about it.
Definitely ain't gonna let you get nothing off.
So he already told you who he was.
Skip got the wrong three niggas up there. I'm telling you, for him to think that he's gonna get an opinion off and we finna do some Shannon shit. Oh no, buddy. That ain't gonna happen. Oh.
But see, and that's the thing, like Shannon was all of them in one.
He was.
So he had to go overboard, over the top to find somebody to do that, because Shannon's
persona.
All right, persona. Shannon's persona, is
right there.
Shannon's persona is what brought black people into watching the show. So that's a formula that worked, got people tuned in. So he was like, all right, well, they love it. They love these guys. And we're gonna do it again. So, And once again, he's going to continue to make a lot of money and get a popular show off the backs of black people.
Yes.
So just like America. So welcome to America. Just like he made all this reputation off of LeBron James, and he's still going to continue to do it. So, but yeah, I mean, so far the ignorance is working.
Yeah.
And you guys know, if you guys follow Frames and Islam Maestro on any of these other shows that I'm on, I love a mess. I love messy shows. But I'm just, it's just a certain type of mess. I don't know if I'm here for that.
This ain't the right type of mess.
I don't know if I'm here for that. But I think the mess I like is just watching Skip struggle.
That is the part that I do like. And I'm more interested in seeing Shannon and Stephen A. I want to see how that looks.
Yeah.
I want to see how that plays out.
I'm with you.
Oh man, now you talk about blackness.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I mean, of course, you got to work the kinks out, but watching the parts that I've watched, because I have not watched a complete show, and I'm being honest about that, but the parts I've seen has been a train wreck. It's people talking over each other, people trying to make points, and you can't get nothing out. It's not an easy flow right now. It's not. It's not an easy flow.
Yeah.
They need a moderator or mediator, whatever you call it. That's what they're gonna have to have.
All they need is Jamel Hill to be the mediator, the moderator, and then they'll be all the way.
Man.
Yeah.
All they need is Jamel Hill.
If I was them, I'd put Joy Taylor on there.
I'll put Jamel Hill right there, man. Y'all figure it out. Let Jamel be the moderator.
She kind of on watch, but she
is.
Definitely get it. She would fit right in, bro.
Fit right in.
She would fit right in. But yeah. But I mean, shit. Hey, look. When I was watching that show, I was like, damn, if that don't look like Dennis Sports sometimes. That's all I kept thinking. I was like, oh my God. They done brought this shit to prime time. But yeah. Anyway, how about that, man? We did it. We got through it. And it's still safe out there, Spike.
Yeah,
man.
man.
We're gonna make it home. All right, bro.
Hopefully we don't got no boats, man. We ain't gotta hop in no boats on the way home, man.
I think we put up that Noah's Ark for now. So it's not raining. I think we gonna be all right, bro. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we thank you guys. Next week we are doing. We're actually going to preview the season. So we're going to go through divisions. We're going to pick the division winners, and I guess Super Bowl. You know how we do every year, guys.
Sir.
So everybody should be back. Nick will be back. FIFA, it depends on what it looks like.
Maybe if it's raining, we may not.
Yeah.
It's raining.
If it's safe, he might be back. But
Shout out, that's my brother.
Nah, yeah, I mean, it's all jokes. He know he's gonna get clowned. But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for us, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace. Oh, college football talk. Drink more water. I suppose. I mean, what is
because the season starts this week.
Yeah.
Caleb
one big
Williams,
game, maybe.
It's one big game this week. Caleb Williams, of course, and who is Florida State, and I can't think. I don't know.
Caleb is impressive. I mean, he did throw. He had 4 touchdowns, but USC looked that impressive.
Hating already,
hate. Deion
mid-season form.
I put my money on Caleb, and Caleb didn't give me what I needed.
Deion debut is this week too. They getting 20 points against somebody. Washington, I think, or something.
Dream Water said Florida State versus LSU. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll sneak in some college football talk. But yeah, all right, man. We're gonna get out of here. Peace.